spent like the last 3 minutes trying to understand why my microphone was picking out so loudly what I'm saying. So yeah, that is an interesting information that you absolutely had to know. Okay, I think at one point we all taught ourselves things, when I was thinking of saying this, I had an example of like tying your shoes, but then I remembered that my mom taught me how to tie shoes because I didn't know why would you need that? Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm okay with just sticking them into my shoe and being uncomfortable with those tie, like with those, how is it called? Oh God. Okay, doesn't matter. They're just uncomfortable with these things in my shoes, and I was okay. And for a long time, I couldn't really, funny story, for a long time, I couldn't really learn how to do them, how to like tie my shoes. I mean, by a long time, I mean like a whole summer, I was learning how to tie my shoes. Probably everyone at some point taught themselves something. And when I mean taught themselves something, I mean like there are some people in this world that think that if you watched a YouTube video on how to, I don't know, play a guitar, then you didn't learn it by yourself. You learned it with someone new because that person showed you. And I mean, basically, yeah, but you picked out, but what I think it's, you picked out like those videos, you picked out when to practice, when you picked out when to do these things. So you taught yourself, but with the help of resources that are out there. If we're talking like doing something by yourself, teaching yourself something without a book, a video, and any previous knowledge of the thing, you will never teach yourself anything. What I mean by teaching yourself something, self-teaching, whatever, is you pick out the curriculum for your studying. That is what I mean. I mean, in university and in school, you have schedule of the lessons and things picked out for you. And if you're studying yourself, if you teach yourself, you just, I drink tea so often that I think that I need to start speaking in British accent because the amount of tea I drink is actually insane. My God, my eye is itching. What is? Okay. So I wrote down some things I want to talk about. Also found some information, which is very unusual for me because usually I record this when I want to go to sleep, and now it's a daylight, which is new. So is there anything you can teach yourself? Oh my God, I didn't put this question right. Is there something you can teach yourself? Or we could put this question another way. Can you teach yourself how to do anything? I think the answer is yes. Whether you could practice that thing, like if you want to be a doctor and you're like, university is not for me, I'm just gonna teach myself, bye-bye. Then it's kind of, I don't know how it works. I mean, I know how it works. You need to have a diploma and attend university to be a doctor because that is great. That is all great, reading books and watching videos, but you do have to practice. So in that case, if you want to be something doctor related or like professions where you have to go to university, like lawyer or something like that, you have to go to university and study what they picked out for you. But you can also always pull my cross and just, I mean, I think it'd be so much easier. I mean, there are people that naturally like teaching themselves things and they find it easier. So it'd be like in the suits. If you pass that bar test for lawyers or like that test for doctors where when they finish their, oh my God, I do not know how, I mean, in different countries, it called differently. So I do not know, but there are always like this global huge test after a few years of medical school. If you do not pass it, you're doing it all over again. And if you're gonna do it all over again, then you're gonna graduate by the time you're gonna be 40 years old. So that is fun, So I think like it will be nice, but for medicine, I think it's very good to attend university. Okay, I'm great. We covered that. I want to look at some people who achieved great things in particular fields and they taught themselves. First one is Zayed Fazah. Also, before I'm gonna do all this, I could mispronounce those names. So, I'm sorry if I do. I could mispronounce. That would be fine. The reason why I started speaking so slowly is because I think I locked my dog on the balcony and he's trying to escape, and I locked him, like I locked the door, and I feel bad, but it's very warm outside. Okay, he doesn't, okay. He'll live, he'll survive, you know. So first one is Zayat Faza. He taught himself 59 languages. I do not know even what to compare it to. It's like remembering 59 books. I mean, that is such a horrible comparison, but imagine remembering, I cannot even imagine remembering 59 books cover to cover, word by word, in different languages, and he just like, oh, I know all 59 languages. I don't think I can even name 59 languages right now.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I just decided to list the languages of the amount of languages I know that they exist. And I could list off only 7. I mean, now that I'm thinking of it, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I know, but I do not know any 59 languages. I know the languages they speak in Europe. I know the languages they speak in, oh my god, what is this? It's northern or like southern or like...
A few moments later.
I know, I just realized that I'm so not as smart as I thought I am. So that is a very sad news for me. Okay, the other person who taught themselves a lot of languages was a German, Heinrich Schliemann. He was a German, or still is, I don't know, a German archaeologist who taught himself over a dozen languages to help with historical research. And that man, what he achieved by this, he's famous basically for discovering the ancient city of Troy. So a man taught himself over a dozen languages to like help him to discover and like understand I don't know what he learned it for, but I mean, he discovered an ancient city. I don't even know what that city is. I'm gonna Google it after it. Okay. Then we have Michael Faraday. Again, I do not know if I'm gonna pronounce it right. He was still is, a self-taught scientist who made groundbreaking discoveries in electromagnetism and electrochemistry. He started as a bookbinder and educating himself by reading science books. What he did, I might not understand a lot of in electromagnetic things and physics and chemistry, but what he did, like he had a bunch of discoveries in electromagnetism, which led to the Faraday cage, which is used in modern electronics. If you didn't know, the Faraday cage, electromagnetic induction, which made electric generators possible. So he taught himself by reading books, science books, and he made some bunch of discoveries that led us to be able to have generators, electric generators, and a bunch of other things, which I'm not equipped of telling you because I have no idea what they mean. So thank you, Michael. Then there goes the obvious, the ones that you know. I mean, the one that you know, everyone knows at this point, I feel. Leonardo da Vinci, he had some basic knowledge, like he could read new basic math, and then he taught himself everything from there. He taught himself how to paint, how to do this and that, and that how he painted the Mona Lisa. And also, fun fact is, everyone knows him by like Mona Lisa painting and whatever, but he also sketched flying machines, tanks, and human anatomy. I never knew it about him. So funny that I've seen so many in movies or even in real world. I don't know if it was in real world. Okay, when they bury this timed capsule and then they pick it up and people are making predictions and they're like, oh, in 2025 there will be flying cars. There's no flying cars. I mean, there's like a flying taxi, a helicopter or something, but it's not a flying car. It's a helicopter. It's a different thing. And there's still no flying cars. In 1980, people thought that there would be flying cars. At the beginning of the 20th century, people thought there would be flying cars, and they're still not here. What's up? What's up with that? But so funny that people thought that for so many years, even when Leonardo da Vinci was. The next one goes the people that I don't know. Like, I found this information, I'm like, I'm hearing of these people the first time in my life. Jimi Hendrix taught himself how to play the guitar and became one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Maybe some of you know him. I don't know. I feel so bad for not knowing him. But he has, maybe you'll remember his work. His work is Purple Haze, Hey Joe, All Along the Watchtower. Okay, now that I'm reading his work, I think I've heard it. No, it was Hey Jude, don't be afraid. It's Beatles, I think. Yeah, the only song I know by Beatles. I would so love to be like, have a music taste of like an old person, you know, not to listen to this pop hits and whatever, just listen to like Beatles and you know, I think that would make me more interesting and like mysterious in some way, and I think that's the only reason why I want to, like, you know, want that. Okay, William Shakespeare. Well, there's not a lot of known about his education, but he largely, I mean, I love how they put it, like, William Shakespeare, though little is known about his formal education, he largely taught himself about history, philosophy, and literature, shaping his incredible storytelling skills. Oh, formal education is like school, right? Like elementary school, middle school, yeah, these things. I don't know, I just, you know, I'm kind of blaming it all on English is not my first language, even though I know English more and better than my language, my native language, or any other languages that I know. But I'm always gonna use that card of like, I don't know, English is not my first language. I don't have to explain to you who William Shakespeare is. You all heard about Romeo and Juliet, and I think read Romeo and Juliet. It's I think it's read in school. I mean, I remember watching it at school. I remember we didn't really read it, but our teacher showed us, like, we watched a movie, and that was weird because we watched the movie on YouTube and there was one inappropriate ad in YouTube from this to this, and oh my god, I remember that like it was yesterday, and she became so red. She just blushed so much, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, I didn't, you know, and we all were laughing. I mean, it was fun times. Then the next one is Benjamin Franklin. He educated himself through extensive reading and became writer, scientist, and inventor. And I don't really have to explain anything about him either, because you know him from dollar bills, or I don't know, this information or other information. So also I like how it did it for chapters. I have this chapter, it's acting and filmmaking. Charlie Chaplin. If you do not know who Charlie Chaplin is, you're probably like Gen Y, Gen what? I don't even know what is the other Gen. I'm Gen Z, and I don't know. Charlie Chaplin. Everyone knows Charlie Chaplin. So he taught himself how to act, direct, and even compose music despite having a little formal education. Amazing. Again, amazing. We saw his career. I mean, I saw some pieces and bits of it. Then Quentin Tarantino. He dropped out of school and taught himself filmmaking by watching movies and working in the video store. Again, I don't have to explain anything because such an amazing director. Great. Then there's technology and business, but who needs that? So, amazing. They taught themselves all these things. So that's great. There's literally effect of people teaching themselves things and being successful and achieving, you know, success is such a different thing for everyone. So, I don't know, achieving the success the world think is success, like recognition. Oh, that would be better to say people who taught themselves things and achieved recognition, worldwide recognition. Okay. I feel again that I'm sinking into this chair. Is there a limit? Like, is there something that you can teach yourself? Is there something that, I don't know, just what the question states. Is there a limit? I don't think there is. Like, I do not think there is a limit to this. There could be a limit of resources, there could be a limit of time, there could be a limit of motivation, and so on and so forth. But there is no a limit. You can teach yourself by using YouTube, books, resources like courses, and so on. So many things if you wanted to. I don't know why we would find it appealing because of all the social media and entertainment and movies constantly coming out, and TV shows and games and books, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I love movies and TV shows and all these things. Oh my god, I don't think I would, if anytime I have a mental breakdown, I'm putting on the TV show or movie, my comfort movie. Also, yesterday I watched properly The Confession of Shopaholic. I don't know if it's called like that, but you do understand what there's not a lot of movies including Shopaholic into a name. And oh my god, from first minutes, I mean, I'm not a shopaholic. I barely really buy clothes because I think it's I don't know, I just don't like it. This all fast fashion and things like that. I better buy a book or, I don't know, flowers, or I don't also love flowers, so I don't know why I just said flowers. I just don't particularly find appealing in clothes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't know, I had this period when I was younger when I was always like, oh, I need this and knew this and knew this, and I'm like, now I'm like, don't really care, you know, okay. So I was like, interesting, I can relate, but I liked it so much because the minute the guy who was her, I mean, in the future, in a few minutes, he's gonna become her boss, and he talks and he has British accent, I'm like, huh, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna love this movie. I'm gonna cherish this movie forever. And then he's like, I wanted to say something to you. Like, in the middle of the film, he's like, I wanted to say something to you. I'm with this girl that she doesn't particularly like, or like envies her. And then in 40 minutes, he's like, she's like, I thought you were with her. And he's like, no, she's not you. And I was like, okay. Fun fact about me, and I don't think I'm the only person who does that, but anytime there's like a sad scene in a movie or TV show, I just scroll through it. Like, there was a scene where they found out that she's actually in debt, like a lot of debt, and I just decided to skip that to the happy part. And also, I don't like those sad parts. I used to skip a second movie of Twilight when rewatching because I couldn't bear the sadness of the second movie, of the depression that I had, but now I actually quite enjoy it. So maybe I'll grow to like sad moments of movies also, different movies also. Oh, my camera is overheating. How nice. I mean, I wouldn't blame it. The sun is striking upon... Yeah. I think it's all I wanted to say anyways. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say about this. I, for example, taught myself how to play a guitar. I mean, in the sense, taught myself by watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. I taught myself this language that, I don't know, it's so much comfortable for me to teach myself things than have other person teach me things, because I know better what I want. I know better what my needs are, what I want to learn from this. Also, I can tell to the teacher, like, I want to read, notes, can you help me out with this, that. But also, I don't find other people as relatable as me. I feel like if I'm gonna tell them, I want this and this and that and that and that, they would be like, oh my god, what do you and I don't feel like they would be as efficient in teaching me things as I am in teaching me things, because I know at the core what I want. So yeah, we're gonna just end it here. I hope you have an amazing day and you're gonna, teach yourself something, open a YouTube video, maybe, I don't know, whatever it is that you wanted to teach yourself for a long time. Don't wait for, I don't know, a teacher to come around. Okay, I'm slightly realizing that this video, it sounds like I'm promoting teaching yourself things, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, just for yourself. I'm just saying my opinion here. Okay, have a good one, and I love you, and bye. Okay, I didn't forget about hug, so bye.